Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
afternoon, sir. Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Good af Good afternoon. Whether my voice is clear? Slow. Hello. Now is it okay? Okay. So once again, good afternoon, students. Today we are going to. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today we are going to discuss course EPC III, Understanding the Self. In this paper, we have 3 units. First unit is self-concept, and second unit is development of self-actualization. And third unit is development of professional identity. Development of professional identity. I'll be teaching you the third unit, development of professional identity. And under this unit, today I would like to discuss on professional development of teachers. Professional development of teachers. First of all, I would like to pose a question to the class. Who is a teacher? Who is a teacher? Who is a teacher? Anybody?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, a teacher is an individual who teaches us in a classroom or in any educational institution.
Okay. Anybody else? Who is a teacher?
Teacher is the one
is a
who
teacher?
understands.
Yes. Go
Teacher
ahead.
is the one who understands the teacher who makes them to understand.
Okay. Very philosophical point. Okay. I know all of you know the answer, but I would like to highlight the important aspect of a teacher. Who is a teacher? Teacher is the image of Brahma. Teacher is a Brahma, the creator. Teacher is God Vishnu. Teacher is God Maheshwar. Teacher is the entire universe. The true teacher is he who can immediately come down to the level of a student, transfer his soul to the student's soul, and see through and understand through his mind. Such a teacher can really teach and none else. The teacher's place in our society is of vital importance. He acts as the pivot for the transmission of intellectual traditions and technical skills from generation to generation, and helps to keep the lamp of civilization burning. This particular saying is from Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. The teacher's place in the society is of vital importance. He acts as the pivot for the transmission of intellectual tradition and technical skills from generation to generation, and helps to keep the lamp of civilization burning. Further, I would like to quote saying about teacher: a teacher can never truly teach unless he is still learning himself. A lamp can never light another lamp unless it continues to burn its own flame. Rabindranath Tagore has said this. There are so many definitions on teacher. You have read many times about teacher. The teacher is the real history maker. Teacher is the maker of man. And when we talk about personality traits of a teacher, we know the personality traits of the teacher are self-confidence, self-respect, excellent appearance, healthy and energetic, good intellect, high character, sense of humor, optimistic, democratic, fair and just, punctuality, sympathy, empathy, enthusiasm, sociability. These are some of the personality traits of the teacher. Now, my question is, who is a teacher? And I have tried to describe about a teacher through quoting different quotes or different sayings of very prominent Indians. Okay. Further, when we talk about a teacher, we should know that teacher एक शिक्षक क्या है, वह जो सिखाता है उससे अधिक महत्वपूर्ण है. शिक्षक क्या है, वह जो सिखाता है उससे अधिक महत्वपूर्ण है. There is a saying, what the teacher is more important than what he teaches. So personality traits of a teacher is very important. The overall personality of a teacher is important. The characteristics of a teacher is important. The personal values of a teacher is important. The social values of a teacher is important. What the teacher is more important than what he teaches. The teacher is more important than the subject. The teacher is more important than what he teaches. This is a great saying by Carl A. Menninger. Carl A. Menninger. What the teacher is more important than what he teaches. This very famous quote reflects the importance of being a teacher. Teacher is a pillar in teaching learning process. In this present context, a teacher is not merely a disseminator of knowledge, rather plays a variety of roles. Teacher is a motivator. Teacher is a counselor. Teacher is a manager. Teacher is a planner. Teacher is a transmitter of knowledge. Teacher is a facilitator. Teacher is a co-creator. Teacher is a leader. And teacher is a nation builder. Due to the paradigm shift in teaching learning process during this COVID-19, Teacher's role has become more challenging due to increasing expectations of the students, expectations of the society. And to match those expectations, teachers or a teacher has to play diverse roles, such as a planner, facilitator, co-creator of knowledge, manager, leader in the classroom and outside the classroom, counselor, and apart from that, a true human being. तो हम कह सकते हैं वर्तमान संदर्भ में, at present when COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus cases are increasing, एक शिक्षक केवल ज्ञान का प्रसार करता नहीं है, बल्कि विभिन्न प्रकार की भूमिका निभाता है। एक प्लानर के रूप में, एक मैनेजर के रूप में, एक फैसिलिटेटर के रूप में, एक को क्रिएटर ऑफ नॉलेज के रूप में, एक लीडर के रूप में, एक काउंसलर के रूप में और एक ट्रू ह्यूमन बीइंग के रूप में अपना रोल अदा करता है। शिक्षण अधिगम प्रक्रिया में वर्तमान परिवर्तन के कारण विद्यार्थियों के एक्सपेक्टेशंस, सोसाइटी के एक्सपेक्टेशंस में वृद्धि हो रही है और यह एक बहुत बड़ा चुनौती है शिक्षकों के लिए। और उससे मेल खाने के लिए शिक्षक विभिन्न प्रकार के रोल अदा करते हैं और उन सभी रोल के बारे में ऑलरेडी मैं मेंशन किया। वो एक योजनाकार के रूप में अपना रोल अदा करता है, सूत्रधार के रूप में अदा करता है, ज्ञान के सह निर्माता के आधार पर, एक नेता के आधार पर, एक परामर्शदाता के आधार पर, एक प्रबंधक के आधार पर और एक अच्छा इंसान के आधार पर वह अपनी भूमिका निभाता है। What are the aspirations and qualities of teachers? What are the aspirations and qualities of teachers? Do you have the answers for this question? What are the aspirations and qualities of teachers? What are the aspirations and qualities? Anybody? What are the aspirations? What are the qualities of a teacher?
Yes, sir. Hardworking, simple, humble, honest.
Very good.
Patience.
Okay. What more?
Sir, a good listener.
Is a good listener, okay. Good listener,
Sir, a good influencer.
okay.
Sir, dedicated.
Dedicated. When we talk about the personal values of a teacher, we know the personal values of a teacher are love, dialogue, beautifulness, brotherhood, patience, forgiveness, courtesy, repentance, sharing, service, team spirit, loyalty, responsibility, accountability, tolerance, freedom, justice, determination, hospitality, coordination. These are some of the personal values of a teacher. And when we talk about social values of a teacher, we know social values are of a teacher: discipline, punctuality, respect for one another, ambition, faithfulness, responsibility, cleanliness, dedication. One of you said devotion, creativity, and sense of competition, patience, knowledge, positive approach, innovative, self-reliance, courageous, sincerity, affection. These are some of the social values of a honesty, hopefulness, social values of a teacher. And teacher do a lot of works in a school, in a educational organization. His work is related to curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular, and in extracurricular we know personal guidance, career counseling, community service, and conduct a lot of school activities, planning, organizing, guiding, supervising, evaluating, etc. Sometimes the government teachers, they said they have mess duty, midday meal, record maintenance. Lot of other duties are there. Maintaining record, reporting, work related to buildings, related to many other assignments given by the government. So they do a lot of work in an educational institution, in a school. So my question was, what are aspirations and qualities of a teacher or of teachers? You see, शिक्षण को एक महान पेशा कहा जाता है. किसी भी अन्य पेशे को समाज में शिक्षण की तुलना में इतना सम्मान नहीं दिया जाता. Teaching is termed as a noble profession, and no other profession is respected so highly in the society than teaching. To be a good as well as an effective teacher, it is of vital importance that the teachers must possess certain socially accepted qualities, attributes, aspirations for their own betterment and students' prospectus, students' growth, students' development. एक अच्छा और एक प्रभावी शिक्षक होने के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है कि शिक्षकों को कुछ सामाजिक रूप से कार्य गुणों, विशेषताओं के अधिकारी होना चाहिए. A new teacher in the field of teaching must aspire for such values throughout their professional career. A teacher should aspire that his or her students gain mastery, confidence, and competency in the subject taught, and continue to apply it in new and wonderful ways. A teacher should aspire to continuously improve on his or her own knowledge, on his or her skills as an educator. The teacher should be free from any sort of academic inertia. He or she should work for continuous betterment. एक शिक्षक को एक शिक्षक के रूप में अपने स्वयं के ज्ञान और कौशल पर लगातार सुधार करने की इच्छा होनी चाहिए. वह किसी भी प्रकार की शैक्षणिक जड़ता से मुक्त होकर निरंतर अपने डेवलपमेंट के लिए काम करना चाहिए. The process of lifelong learning, sharing of knowledge, sharing of skills, that is one of the deepest passions found in teaching profession. That attitude a teacher should have. And for this, the teacher should aspire to collaborate with students, with colleagues, and with other members of the institution. A teacher should aspire to be a good human being. Then only he can make efforts to become a very good teacher or an effective teacher. एक शिक्षक को पहले एक अच्छा इंसान बनने की इच्छा रखनी चाहिए और फिर एक प्रभावी शिक्षक बनने के लिए प्रयास करना चाहिए. पहले एक अच्छा इंसान बनना चाहिए. Teachers should aspire for possessing at least 3 main characteristics: communication skill, collaboration, and focus on students' learning. Teachers should aspire for possessing these 3 characteristics: communication skills, collaboration, and focus on students' learning. प्रत्येक शिक्षक को 3 मुख्य विशेषताओं को ध्यान में रखना चाहिए और उनका ख्वाहिश होना चाहिए: संचार कौशल, सहयोग और छात्र सिखाने पर ध्यान केंद्रित करना. ये 3 महत्वपूर्ण बातों पर उनका ख्वाहिश होना चाहिए. When we talk about aspirations and qualities of a teacher, we can say teachers must embrace the idea that not only the students in their class are valued, but entire school is full of learners, and that all stakeholders are responsible for the students. So teacher is not only the responsible for the development and growth of the students. All the stakeholders in the school or the educational institutions are responsible for the growth and development of the students. This is a very important aspect. And teachers should understand the role in the students' learning process, because teachers play many roles in the classroom, but students' learning should be main focus of the teachers. They play different roles, many roles, but their main role should be students' learning, students' growth and development. Okay. In nutshell, I can say that teachers should possess following qualities for being a good human being and an effective teacher. He should be honest. He should be responsible towards the profession. He should be physically and mentally strong. The teacher should have mastery over the subject or the topic. And teachers should have effective communication, should have good communication. जीवन भर सीखने और ज्ञान और कौशल साझा करने की प्रक्रिया शिक्षण पेशे में उनका पैशन होना चाहिए। Teachers should not facilitate learning, but should promote citizenship training and active integration with society. So developing curiosity, critical thinking, creativity, initiative, and self-determination. So these are some of the points which I am talking about is related to the aspirations and qualities of teachers. The teacher should be aware of the latest innovations. The teacher should be aware of research. Teachers should be aware of the latest experiences in the field of education and the subject. The teacher should be an active researcher. The teacher should help in coordinating and enriching the efforts of the students. The teacher should have the identity and utility of learning strategies, teaching aids. So I can say teachers should appreciate the aspirations and expectations of the community, the expectation of the students, expectation of the society, expectation of the parents. We, the teachers, should appreciate their expectations. We should appreciate their aspirations. Okay. Further, teachers should be a promoter of national integration. Teachers should be a promoter of national integration. शिक्षक एक राष्ट्रीय एकीकरण का प्रवर्तक होना चाहिए। छात्रों में देशभक्ति की भावना उत्पन्न करना चाहिए। छात्रों में राष्ट्रीय एकता विकसित करना चाहिए। ये सब शिक्षक के उत्तरदायित्व है, responsibilities है। Now, my next question is, which a profession? What is a profession? Teaching is a noble profession, but let us discuss what is a profession. What do you understand by a profession? What is the meaning of a profession? Anybody? एक पेशा क्या है? What is a profession? Are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is my slide visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. एक पेशा से आप क्या समझते हैं? एक व्यवसाय से क्या समझते हैं? एक प्रोफेशन से आप क्या समझते हैं?
प्रोफेशन जो बहुत उस क्षेत्र किसी एक क्षेत्र में मास्टर है, ये चाहे बहुत अच्छी ज्ञान है उस क्षेत्र में।
ओके।
So, a profession is a process in which an individual is trained so that he could achieve and acquire all the skills and be particular in that particularly good
Kind of knowledge, a range of skills, and their application for the service of humanity. So you see, you have come across many fathers and sisters. They are dedicating their lives for the service of this humanity, for the service of the society, for the service of this country, for this whole universe. So Teaching is also a profession regarded as vocation, calling from God. You are called, you are chosen by God Himself. A profession is regarded as calling, and it implies acquisition of knowledge, range of skills, and their application for the service of humanity. So, why are you getting training? Why are you developing your skills? Why are you improving day by day in your knowledge, in your methods, methodologies? You are developing improvement, development in your profession for the service of the humanity, for the service of the humanity. This is another aspect how we understand a profession. Doctors are providing their service to the humanity. Lawyers are providing their service to the humanity. In this, during COVID-19 pandemic time, especially doctors, nurses are providing their selfless service to the humanity. Okay, and there are many policymakers and many people, many ordinary people are providing their very good service to the humanity during this pandemic time. Okay, teachers are also providing service to the humanity. Okay, now another aspect, the service rendered by a professional may be direct, as in case of teachers and doctors, or indirect, as it is in the case of teacher educators, teachers of teachers, teacher trainees, teacher educators. एक पेशेवर द्वारा प्रदान की जाने वाली सेवा शिक्षकों और डॉक्टरों के मामले में प्रत्यक्ष या अप्रत्यक्ष हो सकती है, क्योंकि यह शिक्षकों के ट्रेनिंग के मामले में दिया जाता है. ट्रेनिंग, टीचर एजुकेटर्स are providing training program to teacher trainees. So these all are professionals. These all are teachers. These all are teacher educators providing professional service to the society, professional service to the society. चाहे वो प्रत्यक्ष रूप से या अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से ये सोसाइटी को प्रोफेशनल सेवा सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, प्रोफेशनल सेवा प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. ओके, एनी डाउट? My first point is, I was not aware to change the slide. My first point on profession is a profession can be defined as an occupation which requires some specialized study and training, and the purpose of which is generally to provide skilled services and guidance in lieu of a definite fee and remuneration. Any doubt in this point? What do you understand in this point? Anybody? It requires a specialized study. It requires training. Okay? And the purpose of a profession is to provide skilled services, skilled guidance. Okay. Yes. Tell us. Somebody wanted to say something?
No, sir. Just I was repeating.
Okay. Next point. The profession is a calling. It implies acquisition of a fund of knowledge, range of skills, and their application for service of humanity. Please, somebody explain this slide. Anybody? Please explain. Already I have given the explanation. Anybody? The profession is a calling. The profession is a vocation. Further, can you explain this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As it is written, a profession is a calling. Say, each individual is called in a particular area to
Yes.
acquire knowledge and to give the particular knowledge to the students or the people who were in that area.
Very good. Good point. Good point. It is a
To
call
basically
from God.
to train them intellectually and skill to implement in their life.
Okay. Okay. So, gaining of knowledge, acquisition of knowledge, getting mastery over the skills and their applications is meant for the service of humanity. Meant for the service of humanity. If there are so many people call for different professions, we are called for teaching profession, and teaching is a noble profession. So once you realize that you are called by God, your vocation is teaching, then surely you will render service to the humanity. Service to the humanity. Okay. Next point, I'm talking about profession. The service rendered by a professional may be direct, as in the case of teachers and doctors, or indirect, as in the case of teacher educators. See, teachers and doctors are rendering services, professional services, to the society directly. And especially the teacher educators, those who are teaching the teacher trainings, are rendering the services, professional services, indirectly. I am not teaching the school children. I am not interacting with the parents of the school children, but indirectly, by providing the teacher trainings, professional training program, indirectly I am rendering the service to the society. So there are different professions, and some people directly they render their services to the society, and some of them indirectly render services to the society. Next point, further, this service may be rendered to a limited segment of the population for a limited period of time or phase of life. You see, I am providing you my service to your batch for 2 years, limited period of time. School also, teachers, they provide their service to a particular population, to a particular group of people, and for a limited period of time. So profession, you have to understand, is to a limited group of population. Doctors, they're having different group of people. The teachers, they're having different group of people. So different professions, different group of people and time limit is there, okay, and phase of life. Any doubt in this point? I'm talking about a profession, meaning of profession, understanding of a profession. When we talk about profession, you have to understand it is talking about a group of people and limited period of time, limited period of phase of life. Next point, the service is not rendered to the entire learner population undergoing graduation and post-graduation course. So when we talk about teaching profession, it is not meant for all. Under graduation, post-graduation, no. After your graduation, after your post-graduation, those who are having teaching aptitude, interest for teaching, they come for B.Ed course. They go for primary teachers training. They go for this different teachers training program. So this service, especially teachers training program or teacher profession, is not rendering to all entire learner population. It is giving to particular group of students, those who are having aptitude, those who are having interest, those who are aspiring to be teachers. For them, this particular training program is given. So you see, not entire population, but particular population, those who are aspiring, those who are interested, those who are having interest, those who are having aptitude, teaching aptitudes, for them, teacher training program. Next point, it rendered for a limited period of time, in the sense that an individual is expected to go through training before taking up the profession. Now you are having pre-teacher training program. Some of them are having in-service teacher training program. Some are having continuous teacher training development. So when we talk about limited period of time frame, before taking up the job, after taking up the job, teachers training program is must. Teachers training program is must. And before teacher training program, you are expected to update your knowledge, your skills, okay? A regular interval of time. This is not difficult to understand. They're not difficult to understand. I hope everybody got this point, because you can relate this point to your teachers training program. What are the characteristics of teaching profession? What are the characteristics of teaching profession? What are the characteristics? Can you guess? Can you share your view? Can you share your understanding? Can you share your idea on characteristics of teaching profession? What are the characteristics of teaching profession? Yes. Anybody?
Love.
Okay.
Listening skill.
Listening skill. Okay.
Communication skill.
Communication skill.
Character
Okay.
builder.
Hello?
Character builder.
Character builder. Samajhdari.
Subject knowledge.
Subject knowledge. Good point.
Nation builder.
Nation builder. Okay. What are the characteristics of teaching profession? Teaching profession. Teaching profession is a noble profession. We say. Confidence. Okay. Boosting confidence.
Expert communication skill.
Okay.
Dedication.
Okay. Everybody is
Writing.
listening to one point at least.
Embrace change.
Okay.
Development for the society and the students.
Okay. Okay.
Willingness to reflect.
Okay. Reflection. Okay. I would like to highlight some of the important characteristics of teaching profession. Important characteristics of teaching profession. Teaching profession. How it is different from other professions. Other professions. Like medical you have, and many other professions that you know. It is different from other professions. It is different from other professions, but what is the nature, the characteristics, the features of teaching professions? Teaching professions. First point, it initially involves an intellectual operation. Some of you said subject knowledge or knowledge bank, knowledge on many things, many. Apart from the subject also, the teacher should have knowledge. Teaching profession initially involves an intellectual operation. Intellectual operation. How many of you agree with this? Intellectual operation. इसमें अनिवार्य रूप से एक बौद्धिक ऑपरेशन शामिल है. बौद्धिक ऑपरेशन शामिल है. सही बात है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ऑपरेशन
Yes,
शामिल
sir.
है. बौद्धिक
Yes,
ऑपरेशन
sir.
शामिल. Okay. Teaching, it has been said, is not merely talking. This is so because teaching requires continuous organization of learning activities, deliberate creation of a conducive and supportive learning environment. While providing learning experiences, a teacher has to continuously analyze, evaluate classroom climate, evolve a suitable plan of action to achieve decided or pre-specified desirable change in the group of learners. All such operations which are to be carried out by a teacher. So we can say there is an intellectual operation in teaching profession. अगर आप टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में जुड़े हुए हैं, एक शिक्षक हैं, एक शिक्षिका है, तो आपका इंटेलेक्चुअल ऑपरेशन हमेशा होगा. आप कभी लेसन प्लान बनाएंगे, कभी यूनिट प्लान बनाएंगे, कभी एक्टिविटीज ऑर्गेनाइज करेंगे, कभी टीचिंग एड्स बनाएंगे, कभी मेथड्स के बारे में सोचेंगे, कभी टेक्निक्स के बारे में सोचेंगे, हमेशा बुक्स पढ़ेंगे, अपना सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज बढ़ाएंगे. तो इंटेलेक्चुअल ऑपरेशंस आर मस्ट इन टीचिंग प्रोफेशन. अगर आपका इंटेलेक्चुअल ऑपरेशन मर गया है, नहीं के बराबर है, तो आप टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में रहने लायक नहीं है. बिकॉज फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट teaching profession involves an intellectual operation. Second point, teaching profession draws material from science. We can say it is arts, but it is also science because it draws material from science. यह विज्ञान से सामग्री खींचता है. खींचता है, सामग्री खींचता है। कितने कोई अग्री करते हैं? टीचिंग प्रोफेशन draws material from science. Teaching is not merely an art, but it is also a science. In our activities, we follow systematic process. Systematic process is involved in our teaching, in our educational activities, whether it is co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, or curricular activities. We follow systematic methods. So we can say teaching is not only an art, but also a science. On the basis of this assumption, a teacher can be trained. When you are trained, you are systematic. When you are trained, you are organized, you are composed, you are calm, you are disciplined. The moment it is accepted as a science, it has definite steps which are followed in our teachers training program. Okay? Any doubt in this point? Teaching profession is not only an art. Teaching is not only an art, but it is also a science. Next point, it transforms raw material into a practical and definite end. यह कच्चे माल को एक व्यवहारिक और निश्चित अंत में बदल देता है। एक व्यवहारिक और निश्चित अंत में बदलता है। What do you understand by this? Any one of you? In teaching profession, the learners constitute the raw material, and these learners are prepared to teach in a continuously evolving society which is having different expectations, different aspirations, and learners are trained into a practical and definite end. Practical and definite end. How? By means of providing practical training in teaching and other pedagogical activities. You relate with your training program. Here, transformation. When you joined, some of you knew nothing about methods of teaching, techniques of teaching, different procedures of making lesson plan, unit plan, or how to plan or organize activities in a systematic way. Raw material. It transforms raw materials into a practical and definite end. When you complete your teacher training program, you will be a full-fledged, you will be a trained teacher, a definite end. So कह सकते हैं हम यह एक कच्चे माल को एक व्यवहारिक और निश्चित अंत में बदल देता है। टीचिंग प्रोफेशन एक व्यवहारिक और निश्चित अंत में बदल देता है। Once you start teaching in a school, आप अपना एक्सपीरियंस से अपना प्रोग्रेस करेंगे, अपना डेवलपमेंट करेंगे, अपना अनुभव बढ़ाएंगे और एक निश्चित अंत, एक परिपक्व टीचर के रूप में बनेंगे। ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, इट possesses an educationally communicable technique. Any one of you read this point? Read this point.
It possesses an educationally communicable technique.
Okay. Communicable technique. In a very simple language, one of you already have mentioned. One of you already mentioned about communication skill. Communication skill. So it possesses an educationally communicable technique. Communicable technique. As teaching is a science, teaching techniques are systematic. Teaching methods are systematic. Teaching approaches are systematic. Teaching techniques are systematic and have definite steps that has to be followed. So it is easily communicable. Communicable. If we don't follow systematic process, we don't follow systematic techniques, if we don't follow systematic methods, we may not be able to communicate what we are trying to teach to the students. So it possesses an educationally communicable technique. This was fourth point. What are we talking about? This was fourth point. What is the main point that we are talking about? Characteristics of teaching profession. Characteristics of teaching profession. Teaching profession. Under this, I mentioned it essentially involves an intellectual operation. It draws material from science. It transforms raw material into a practical and definite end. It possesses an educationally communicable technique. Next point, it tends towards self-organization. Talking about characteristics of teaching profession tends towards self-organization. Self-organization. यह आत्म संगठन की ओर जाता है. आत्म संगठन की ओर जाता है. Tends towards self-organization. Very easy topic. I expect that one of you should explain this topic. How it tends towards self-organization. कैसे यह आत्म संगठन की ओर जाता है? Any one of you? It tends towards self-organization. Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes,
audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Self-organization. Self-organization. It is self-organized in the sense that the personnel, the teachers or educationists who are engaged in teaching profession are very sensitive towards growth and development of children. They are very sensitive towards growth and development. As a teacher trainee, you are also very sensitive towards growth and development of an individual. So the teachers, teacher trainees, the professionals, the personnel or educationists, they evolve a definite mechanism to sustain and promote the standards of teaching profession. Standards of teaching profession. For that, what they do? The tendency is towards self-organization. 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 So, when you are teaching in a school, you will have also tendency towards self-organization. Self-organization. Without self-organization, very difficult to be an effective teacher. To be an effective teacher. And when you are self-organized, you will be sensitive towards the growth and development of the students. Okay. Any doubt in this point? Am I making any sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Next point, it essentially performs a social service. Characteristics of teaching profession. One of them is it performs a social service. Social service. This is very easy to understand, very easy to describe. यह अनिवार्य रूप से एक सामाजिक सेवा करता है, सामाजिक सेवा करता है. इस पर आप चर्चा कीजिए. कोई भी performs a social service. Social service. कैसे? Teaching profession. उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है सोशल सर्विस. कैसे? कोई भी Your audio is not clear. Anybody else? Social service?
Sir, as our college itself was going to organize a blood donation camp, so like this, many other institutions also is providing, including the students, teachers, cooperation, and providing social service to the society.
Okay, very good, very good. Teaching is a social service. Teaching is a social service. You get the remuneration, you are paid for your job, but it is really a social service. It has generally been accepted that education is an important tool to bring about changes in any nation. It is the education system and education bring changes in our nation, in our country, in our society. And the obvious evidences of such a statement are the developed nations like USA, Russia, and other developed countries. They have developed so much because of education, good education. So teaching, you have to relate teaching as a social service. There is a good teaching, quality teaching. Teaching is a social service, a social service to the nation, a service to the nation, service to the society, for the growth and development of the society, for the country. You see, teaching is a social service, and we provide social service for the improvement, for the development of our society, for the nation. And good example is given by many educationists. Because of the education, we have developed nations like USA, Russia, and so on. So our country should also give more importance to education, because only education can bring changes in our nation. And when you talk about education, it is directly linked to our teaching profession, and teaching is a social service. यह एक अनिवार्य रूप से सामाजिक सेवा है. It is through teaching that a society develops. It is through teaching a society grows. It is through teaching a society makes progress. It is through teaching a nation becomes a developed nation. Okay? So, next point is, it has a lengthy period of study and training. It has a lengthy period of study and training. When you talk about teaching profession, it has a lengthy period of study and training. Now, you are having 2 years of teacher training program. When you will be doing your job, you will have in-service teacher training program. You will have continuous teacher training program. Like now, many teachers are having training on ICT, how to make PowerPoint, how to use technology, how to take online classes. So, training program will continue. It will be lifelong process. Learning will be lifelong. Improvement, development, professional development will be lifelong. So, teaching profession, the characteristics of teaching profession has a lengthy period. You can say it has a lengthy period. This profession has a lengthy period of study and training. This profession has a lengthy period of study and training. Okay. प्रशिक्षण की लंबी अवधि है. अध्ययन एंड प्रशिक्षण की लंबी अवधि है. Next point, it has a high degree of autonomy. इसमें उच्चतर स्तर की स्वायत्तता है, freedom है, autonomy है. What do you understand with this point? A high degree of autonomy. There is a high degree of autonomy in teaching profession, right from curriculum development, planning activity of a year, identifying educational objectives, deciding upon the method of teaching, deciding upon use of media, identifying evaluation criteria, using appropriate evaluation techniques. You are having autonomy in each and every aspect. Deciding upon the admission and promotion rules, deciding or planning an education of co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities. So, आपके पास स्वतंत्रता है उच्च स्तर पर कि आप ये सब खुद डिसाइड कर सकते हैं. High degree of autonomy in teaching profession. Do you agree with this point, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. I am able to hear only few students. What about others? There are 64 students in this group. 64.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with this point?
Yes,
Do you
sir.
agree with this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
High degree of autonomy in teaching
Yes,
profession.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Good. So I hope all of you are alive. Okay. Next point. You can unmute now. You can mute now. It is based upon a systematic body of knowledge. यह ज्ञान के एक व्यवस्थित शरीर पर आधारित है, व्यवस्थित शरीर पर आधारित है। टीचिंग प्रोफेशन, प्लीज म्यूट। टीचिंग प्रोफेशन is based upon a systematic body of knowledge that has been derived from social, psychological, historical, political, and many other spheres of life. It is also influenced by the religious and spiritual beliefs of a society. It is based upon a systematic body of knowledge. Based upon systematic body of knowledge. Systematic body of knowledge. Teaching profession is based upon a systematic body of knowledge. Systematic body of knowledge. And that is derived from different spheres of life. Different aspects of our life. Social, personal, psychological, historical, political, economic spheres of life. Sometimes it is very spiritual, very religious. From that, it is derived. It is derived. It is derived from these aspects. Okay. So, ये व्यवस्थित है, organized है, systematic है. Next point, it has a common code of ethics. Common code of ethics. Achar Sanhita. Above all the globe, teaching profession has a common code of ethics. Common code of ethics. It has morality. It has ethical values. Ethical values. Common code of ethics. नैतिकता इसमें है. नैतिकता है. और अगर टीचिंग में ही नैतिकता ना हो, एथिक्स ना हो, तो ये प्रोफेशन कहलाने लायक नहीं रह जाएगा. टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में एथिकल वैल्यूज, कोड ऑफ एथिक्स, नैतिकता, मोरालिटी बहुत जरूरी है. इसमें कोई अपना व्यू रखना चाहते हैं? कोई भी अपना व्यू रखना चाहते हैं? हेलो.
Yes, sir.
Anybody?
No, sir. Okay.
Okay. It generates in-service growth. This is my last point. It generates in-service growth. यह सेवा में वृद्धि उत्पन्न करता है. In teaching profession, the teacher is learning at all stages of teaching. This leads to growth of a teacher while in service. Generates in service growth. So lifelong learning. The last point I would like to ask the class, what is professional development for teachers? What is professional development for teachers? What is professional development for teachers? You have a definition. Please, somebody read this definition. Read this definition.
The process
by which teachers review, renew, and extend their commitment as change agents, and by which they acquire and develop critically the knowledge, skills, planning, and practice through each phase of their teaching lives.
Very good. One more students can read this one. Yes. One more can read this one.
The process by which teachers review, renew, and extend their commitment as change agents, and by which they acquire and develop critically the knowledge, skills, planning, and practice through each phase of their teaching lives.
Okay. I have given you some points on the characteristics of teaching profession. Now, we need to understand what is professional development of teachers, professional development of teachers. The process by which professional development, process by which teachers, we the teachers, review, renew, and extend our commitment as change agents, and by which we acquire and develop critically the knowledge, skills, planning, and practice through each phase of their teaching life. You can say, वह प्रक्रिया जिसके द्वारा शिक्षक समीक्षा करते हैं, परिवर्तन एजेंट के रूप में अपनी प्रतिबद्धता को रिन्यू करते हैं, रिव्यू करते हैं, नवीनीकृत करते हैं, और जिसके द्वारा अपने शिक्षण जीवन के प्रत्येक चरण के माध्यम से गंभीर रूप से ज्ञान, कौशल, योजना और अभ्यास प्राप्त करते हैं, ये वेरी गुड डेफिनेशन ऑन प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट. One more definition: teachers' professional development is the body of systematic activities to prepare teachers for their job, including initial training, induction courses, in-service training, and continuous professional development within school settings. Teachers' professional development is body of systematic activities. Body of systematic activities. There are different activities. For what? For preparing teachers for their job, for providing them teachers training program, training, or induction courses, refresal courses, or in service training, providing in service training program, or continuous professional development like ICT, online classes, or different methods and techniques of teaching. तो ये एक्टिविटीज को ही प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट, टीचर प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट के रूप में समझा गया है, जिसके थ्रू में वो सिस्टमैटिक एक्टिविटीज के थ्रू में तो टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड किया जाता है, कोर्सेज प्रोवाइड किया जाता है, इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड किया जाता है, एंड कंटिन्यूअस प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. कंटिन्यूअस डेवलपमेंट, प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट के अंतर्गत में आपका आएगा ऑनलाइन, ICT और बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स आएंगे. ओके, दिस मच फॉर टुडे. एनी डाउट?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
What have we discussed today? I have discussed who is a teacher, what are the aspirations and the qualities of teachers, what is a profession. I've given you some points. What are the characteristics of teaching? I've given you so many points. It essentially involves an intellectual operation. It draws material from science into a practical and definite end. It possesses an educationally communicable technique. It tends towards self-organization. It essentially performs a social service. It has a lengthy period. It has a high degree of autonomy. It is based upon a systematic body of knowledge, code of ethics,